If not the 9 to 5, then what? There's a lot of talk of hybrid working, the future, the 9 to 5 is dead, and it's something that I've been exploring quite a bit in the last few years with myself, with my clients, and something I'm very interested in. But if not the 9 to 5, then what? What is that alternative? What does that look like for you? And is there one mainstream solution that's going to work for everybody, or is it very individual? I happen to believe that it's quite individual to you and how you want to lead your life, what your energy is like, what your family situation is, and so on. But let's first look at that 9 to 5 construct. The Monday to Friday 40-hour work week, it was something that was an improvement versus previous 100-hour work weeks, 16-hour days, working in the factories and so on. But for whatever reason, it's become this quite negative concept, and certainly it's very rigid in the way it's applied. Of course, people always tell me it's not 9 to 5 and I'm working 7 till 7 or 8 till 8 or whatever that is, or 6 till 8. Goodness me, and far more hours actually, especially now thanks to technology, or no thanks to technology, allowing us to be always on our phones, on the computer. I can be working here in the evenings when I'm on holiday and so on, right? Which is practical. It helps with what I call work-life integration, being flexible and so on. But is that the way it should be? I don't know. And looking at that concept of work-life balance, I've come across this ideal split of 8-8-8. So 8 hours of working, 8 hours of leisure, 8 hours of sleep. Sounds pretty simple, right? But is that the ideal? Is that something that's going to work for all of us? Do we all need 8 hours sleep? Let's start with that simple one. Is 8 hours of work the right number? I know that I've read studies that suggest we only do 2 hours and 54 minutes of productive work in an office environment every day. So, okay, shouldn't it rather be 3-hour working days? What is the point of having this 8-hour work stretch? Is there any science that says that's the optimal amount for ourselves as individuals, or in terms of productivity for the company and so on? Not to mention, okay, let's look at those 8 hours of leisure. I don't know about you, but when I break this down, it's not so much leisure as admin, laundry, dishes, kids, etc., paying the bills and all these things, right? So a bit of a sad life. It's certainly not 8 hours of lying, having the grapes fed to me on a sun lounger, as per ancient Greeks and Romans, and a time when leisure was really a pursuit of art and philosophy and so on, right? So that 8-8-8 I don't think is even possible or even desirable. But what then is the alternative to that 9 to 5? Is there a solution that's going to work better for us as a society now? And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too. Or is it something that you then as an individual need to decide, and that's where the flexible hybrid working and of course working for yourself comes in, because then you can design that day, that week exactly as you want it to. But of course then you have to answer the question, what does that ideal day or week or balance or split look like for you? And that's what I'm exploring over on the podcast. So come on over to Reimagining Success. You can find it on your favorite podcast app. You can go over to reimaginingsuccesspodcast.com and you can check out the discussion on what the alternatives might look like if we're not going to continue with that 9 to 5 and certainly not that 8-8-8 split. So join me over on reimaginingsuccesspodcast.com.